Good morning, everybody. Lisa Mesri here with Remax Top Producers, and I am here today at Legacy First Escrow in Diamond Bar with Miriam Ortega, my escrow officer. Miriam, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be talking about today something that is very much aware, and I want to make the consumers aware of this. And if you are thinking about buying or selling a house, this is something that the bad guys, for lack of a better word to say it, are attacking us. This is a wire fraud topic. So these are different ways that you can protect yourself, how they're coming in and making it look like changing wire instructions where your wire then transfers are sent over, because unfortunately wire transfers are great. Not many of us use checks anymore with regards to deposits for buying a house or writing checks to have it transferred into your bank account once you close escrow, and these are large sums of money. So we want to be able to protect you. So Miriam, can you share with us some tips that you have?
Absolutely. So as far as wire fraud is concerned, everybody gets a little scared when it comes to wire fraud. So we as escrow holders, we ask the buyer's agent and all agents for that matter to kind of get the buyers aware of what they need to do. Lenders, same thing. A lot of lenders sign loan documents. So just let the buyers know how important it is to contact your escrow settlement agent and verify those wiring instructions. A lot of times, even our receptionists, if the escrow officers are not available for whatever it may be, the receptionist will kind of step in and verify those wiring instructions with their buyers. We try to tell our agents over and over, show them the importance of the verification so that we can avoid the wire fraud. Perfect example, we've had not even just escrow, but title companies. That I just talked to a title company yesterday, and they had hackers going into their emails. So now title companies are very particular in calling even private bennies to try to get those wiring instructions verified. They even timestamp who they even spoke to, verify that the wiring instructions are in fact correct. I went ahead and took it upon myself to speak to a bank, and the representative from the bank also gave me their side of wire fraud, and they also stated how they also verify these instructions verbally, and a lot of banks have the capability of doing wire transfers via internet, your online wire transfers or even fax transfers. They don't recommend it. Is it convenient? Yes, it's convenient for your buyers. Yes, they want to send the money, they don't want to have to go to the bank. However, it's kind of a red flag for a bank, because now they have to verbally contact your client and verify that they did it. A lot of times it's just more work for everybody, and I know buyers sometimes don't want to go out of their way to go to the bank, but it's so much easier when you go in there, because your bank wire department will actually have you verify those wiring instructions prior to them wiring out. Now, as far as escrow is concerned, we will always tell your clients wire the funds, whether it's earnest money deposit or closing funds. Our wiring instructions will never change. So if we hand your buyer wiring instructions at the opening of escrow to send to the benefit of Legacy First Escrow, they will not change at the closing. So if your buyer gets an email telling them otherwise and to send wiring instructions to another beneficiary, another bank that's different from their opening wiring instructions, that is a red flag. You need to step in, tell your buyers, contact escrow ASAP. This is a big red flag. Also, verify email addresses. That is one of our biggest things right now. A lot of escrow companies that I spoke to and friends that are in the business are urging their agents, hey guys, verify these email addresses, because you can have an email address that could possibly say Miriam Legacy First Escrow at yahoo.com, at gmail.com, and your buyers may not know the difference. So as an agent, as a lender, step in, try to educate your buyers on how important it is for them to verify all wiring instructions, whether it's at the beginning or at the end.
A few tips that I've learned through my volunteering time with being a director at the CAR level, we've had some FBI investigators on, is when you're getting those emails, I advise as an agent to my clients, well, first of all, I will never send wire instructions via email, because that's how the hackers get in. They will attack my email or other emails, and they'll change it just slightly, kind of how you said it at a Yahoo versus at a Legacy First Escrow, but they'll take it a step further. They'll, like, for example, mine is Lisa at lisamesri.com. They'll change the Lisa, the A, to an O, and you won't catch it. So it's so minute of a change, it looks like it's coming from me, but it's not really coming from me. So I always advise my clients, I will never send wire instructions via email. If you ever get an email from me, then you know that it's not a proper email and it's a red flag. On top of that, they've also mentioned that, I know you had said to make sure you call and you confirm that this is wire instructions are correct. Never call the wire instructions that are sent in the email. Call your escrow company directly.
Absolutely.
Because the attachment that's going to be in that email is going to have a phone number that's then going to go back to that information is correct when in fact it's not correct. So you've already verified thinking that you're doing the due diligence and you're verifying, but it's not really verifying with the correct person. So that's just another tip. Make sure that you call your escrow company directly. And when it comes to my seller proceeds, because they try and hack into those as well, I never send those via email either. I bring them in personally. I always sit with my sellers and we sign those wired instructions for their proceeds at the end of the sale, because it's a large chunk of money, especially in today's market. Now they want to have them, they don't want the hassle of having a check written, because
Right.
now the bank's going to have a hold for 7 to 14 days, but you're not going to be able to have their money for 2 or 3 weeks after. So a wire transfer is easiest, but I always do them in person. I'll sign it with my sellers in person. I will bring it hand delivered to escrow in person. That way it's never sent in an email if someone does hack in, God forbid, and then that way then there's no jeopardy of my client's information.
Correct.
So these are some good tips that you can do. Do you have any other tips that...
I mean, a lot of times buyers, with the whole wire fraud, they kind of get a little scared and they don't want to send a wire transfer. I tell the agents to urge the buyers to always send a wire transfer regardless. As long as they verify those wiring instructions with their escrow holder, they should be perfectly fine. Again, when we sign loan documents, our notaries will hand deliver the buyers with loan documents, a copy of the wiring instructions for them to wire funds. When they go to the bank, they will be verified with escrow at the time of wiring. A lot of times the agents will say, hey, why don't you just bring in a cashier's check for closing funds? No, do not have your buyers bring in cashier's check for closing funds. We understand that it's certified funds. However, certified funds you can still place a stop payment on. Therefore, we don't allow it for closing. For closing, we definitely have to have a wiring transfer. So again, just agents, lenders, just make sure you have those wiring instructions, have them be verified. Make sure that if it's a legacy file, you have the buyer contact Legacy First Escrow. And the wiring instructions will only be for the benefit of Legacy First Escrow. So other than that, everybody's on your side. Everybody wants to work together and help out. And as far as banks are concerned, they will also step in and try to help those buyers out retrieve their money back from the opposing bank. So if a hacker happens to, send out wiring instructions to one of your buyers, and that buyer actually does follow through and send out that wire, they can step in and they will try to retrieve and do a reversal of wire with the opposing bank. Should it be more than the 24 hours, should it be, let's say, 2 or 3 days later, then they start getting law enforcement involved. And law enforcement at that point, FBI gets involved. Now they go into their wire fraud department and they try to retrieve the money from the opposing bank. So everybody's here to help out the buyers. Just, you guys really pay attention to where the money's going to. Please educate your buyers and make sure those wiring instructions are verified ASAP.
And on top of that, with you saying to get the funds back, with the FBI's guy, when he had spoken to us, he said that usually when those funds get taken, they're no longer in the states. So it's a lot more difficult for them to be able to get those funds back. So it's very imperative that you, anytime you get any wire instructions, whether it's in a real estate transaction or not, it could be in your business, you get a wire instructions. If it looks fishy, please check the email addresses. Please call whoever is supposed to be getting the money. Call your accountant or whoever is supposed to be getting your funds. Make sure that those wire instructions are correct, because once that money's gone, it gets harder and harder after that 24-hour period to be able to get that money back. And we want to be able to make sure that you guys are protected. Any other thing you want to add?
That's it, guys. We're all here to close some escrows and help out the clients. So let's just all step in and try to protect our buyers.
If you're an agent out there, Legacy First Escrow does offer to be able to help you as well, not just RE/MAX Top Producers agents as well. But so if you want to contact Miriam, what's a good way for them to be able to reach you?
So you guys can go ahead and contact me at Legacy First Escrow. Phone number here is 909-465-4696. Or you guys can email me at Miriam at Legacy First Escrow. That's MIRIAM at legacyfirstescrow.com.
Thank you so much, guys. And my name is Lisa Mesri with Remax Top Producers. If you're thinking about buying or selling, or if you just have questions in general, give me a call. My phone number is 909-583-7844. We'll talk with you soon. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.